Welcome back, everybody, to another film. This one is Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. So what exactly is this film about? Well, this film is actually about two young kids named George and Harold who actually love creating comic books. These are kids that's like first or second grade. I'm not too sure quite how old they are. But the thing is that they accidentally turn their principal from the mean principal to Captain Underpants. So what exactly did and that's pretty much the story right there, and then that's where their adventure goes on that there. I gotta say that watching the trailer of this film when it first came out a few months ago, I actually thought it was, a funny title, but it looked ridiculous. The previews really didn't give you what you really thought it was going to be. A little deceiving, I feel like. To a point, it was. It was a kid's movie, but you're thinking, oh, this is just going to be some kind of really stupid, lame thing. Oh my God, complete opposite on this film. This was actually a fun movie. I really do actually like your villain, Professor P, where it turns out his name is Poopy Pants. And just constant, every time people say that name, they're laughing. Every time he says the name, he's not laughing, but everybody else is laughing. And I gotta say, he looked like Albert Einstein. He was a great villain. And I gotta be honest, for his evil genius master plan, I thought was really cool. He ends up finding this one student, Melvin, who was actually just doesn't have a funny bone in his body, and pretty much these two team up to try to go after George and Harold and the rest of the school and everybody else who has laughed at his name ever since he was, I don't want to say really since he was a kid, but really there was this one scene, it was a flashback where he was supposed to win an award, and it turned out that everybody just constantly laughed at him. I think he finally got the award because he ended up doing something that really he shouldn't have done, but him being a mastermind evildoer here, But I gotta say that, with Captain Underpants, his character was just funny, overall. And he didn't really have too much he really needed to say. He was just there to save the world from that. And the thing was that the only problem I had with the film, and other than that, I really thought it was a great movie, was there's a scene in there where both of the kids say, you know what, I kind of regret what we're doing. And what happens is that if you splash water on Captain Underpants there, he pretty much turns right back into the main principal. You snap your fingers, he's back as the captain again. And they kind of did that a little too long for me, so I thought maybe a few times would have been fine. Splash water on his face, snap his fingers, splash water on his face, do the fingers. A couple times would have been fine, but they felt like they just kept repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, and it was getting less funny every time. That's the only problem I really had with Captain Underpants. The rest of the movie, I loved everything about it. So previews can be deceiving, like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't always judge the trailer by its movie. I thought this was a wonderful movie, and I gotta say, this is definitely one of those movies that, it's a rewatchable movie, I guarantee you on that. And one other thing I do have to mention in the movie here is there's a scene in there where they actually do sock puppets for the characters, and I thought that was kind of cool. That was probably one of the most unique scenes in there. I thought the animation was good. I really enjoyed the story for what it was. Your villain was evil, your hero was an idiot, but also at the same time saved the world. The way it ended, you could tell that there was an open ending on this, especially of the subtitle, The First Epic Movie. Well, I don't think the movie did as well as people thought it was going to do, and unfortunately it didn't. I would love to actually see a sequel on this, but we don't know. I'm not going to beg like I did for John Wick 3, which I know for sure they're making another John Wick 3, and I can't wait for that one. But anyways, for this film, definitely, if you never got the chance to see this film, recommend, rent it. It's a good film. Definitely, you will laugh your butt off on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching another movie review. This one is Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. And as always, guys, stay awesome.